Hello, my name is Danny Philippou. I am the co-director and co-writer of Bring Her Back.
And I'm Michael, and I did... What did I do, Danny?
I mean, you just
co-directed.
You tagged along, really?
I'm also a... Okay, I tagged along. This here's our logo here.
Michael, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry if that upset
No, it's
you.
fine.
No, look, I do apologise.
Let's just focus on the movie.
That was just our logo for our little production company there. This is not a cult. Michael's son was in the on the floor there.
Yeah, I think this... Wait, I think we should start again.
Oh, why's that?
Oh, I don't know.
No, we're going to keep it nice and real.
Okay, well, yes. Sorry, guys. This won't be a very professional commentary track.
No.
This is the first time we've mixed in Dolby Atmos, which was awesome. So we were able to have sound in the top speakers, and we had so we could put rain in like the top speakers, so it sounds like it's like raining on you.
But which only really works, I think, in the cinemas, but on Blu-ray and everything, how people are experiencing it now, I don't think it makes a difference, does it?
I don't know. Doesn't the Apple headphones have the spatial thing?
I'm
Dolby
not sure.
Atmos?
I don't have Apple headphones.
Well, you should get some.
So we opened with that the circular motif is all the way through the film, and even the way that sound of the paint like leaking across the room was in a circular motion. So it was so fun to be able to play with that sort of stuff in the audio landscape as well.
We learned so much in Talk to Me about that, like surround sound and things like that. So we were so excited to implement that more.
This is so insane because this was initially a very long one shot. This initially went for about 3 to 4 minutes of coming around this room and showing a bit of this ritual, but it felt like it overshadowed the first half of the film because it was so big. And then like the first half of the film is a lot of drama, and it felt like it sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, like by having that, it's so strong at the beginning. Once this kind of opening came in, it just felt like you didn't care or something. Yeah, because so much. Yeah, the first part was so explosive. But so we like trimmed it back.
Yeah, it's something that you sort of do when you learn to control in the editing. When you're really trying to get a vibe check, you watch the film over and over and over and over, and try to modulate it, see what scenes are working, how things are carrying across. Yeah, it's an awesome process. Sora Wong, her first acting role ever. We knew we wanted to authentically portray someone that was vision impaired, and so we did a big casting call and found Sora, who was incredible. Like, you can't tell it's her first time acting. We're so proud of it.
Yeah, never acted before. She was afraid that she wouldn't be able to pull it off, but we knew just from her audition where we did like an improv exercise, and we did a scene and said, hey, can you act like this? Like, this is your character, this is what you're feeling, and this is the scenario. And she just improv, and it was incredible.
Oh my God, a bit of light to dark there. It's a reoccurring thematic thing in the film, but Piper's sort of hearing these jabs or hearing this bullying going on, and she realizes it, and she's sort of, brought into darkness in that moment, and Andy pulls her out of it and starts to tell her these sort of lies, and that's part of his character, is that he's portraying the world to a certain way and not letting her see the dark side and light side of life. Only the light. But he has to let her, experience the world for herself, so she can, mature and grow up and be independent. I love the dynamic. Billy was the same age Sora was when he was in his first film. He was in this awesome film called Responsible Child, and he was 12 years old when he first did it, and he was able to big brother Sora and mentor her and help prepare her for the bigger roles.
And that was Billy's band actually playing in the car.
That's Billy's band cameo, The Hunger. You should listen to The Hunger.
Yeah, The Hunger is Billy Barrett's band. And we were like, we'll put your song in the credits. But the ending's so grim. And his music's it was like a different vibe, so it would have been an interesting... It just didn't feel like it was working.
It was kind of fit in
So
there.
we're trying to think of where we could put it. And then there was like a perfect way.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Oh my God. Can I just say a story about that room there? The room felt like we wanted some more stuff in there for the dad's room, to like leading into the fact that it's not overly obvious, but he has cancer and he's been through chemo. And our dad recently was as well, and he has this machine in his room that says whether he's alive or not, and it like sends signals to the doctor. So if he, if something goes wrong, they know about it. And we was in like a desperate rush at the end to like kind of dress that bedroom a little bit. And I ran to Dad's house and I stole the machine, and I didn't realize
that. This is a terrible story.
Oh well, and I took the machine and it alerted people, and they thought that Dad was dead.
Yeah, well, and he wasn't, and we returned it straight after.
We did, and I felt really bad. It's because don't
do that.
Let's skip that story. Let's go to this next story.
Can the editor remove that story? And the crazy part is it got removed in the edits. You don't even see the machine.
Yeah, you don't
in the
see
room.
it. It was one of those things like I didn't realize that it would.
Dad's like, yeah, can you return that machine?
He's like, have you got my machine? I'm like, yeah, we do actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrible story.
So this is Billy after the dad died.
Billy's incredible here, like to convey this emotion and push it through. We actually scheduled the film so that the lighter scenes were available to begin with, especially for Sora to build her up to the heavier scenes, the more emotional scenes.
So finding the dad was the first scene we shot.
It was one of the last things we shot because it was such a heavy scene emotionally, and it was sort of about building her up to those scenes so she can get comfortable acting comfortable with her character. So that was shot right towards the end of the schedule.
Sally Ann,
she's so incredible and so fun. Can you tell she likes frogs from her room?
Danny VFX in other frogs. He's like, there's not enough frogs in the Sally Ann's office because office scenes are tough. And so, but he wanted more frogs, so he VFX. We did a pickup day, a whole pickup day of VFXing fucking frogs into the background.
I just wanted one more frog into her office. Yeah, that's a bit.
Can you spot the frog?
Can you spot the frog?
I actually don't think I can.
No, it's in the other shot.
Oh.
There we are here. This is one of those things. We had to shoot everything in one little big section in this thing. So it was like 6 pages to try and get in one day. So I remember all the DCP stuff that was a heavy day of shooting.
And our shoot Talk to Me was 5-week shoot. And then Bring It Back was an 8-week shoot. So we were cheering, or the production were like, oh, we're gonna have so much time to properly go through this stuff. But somehow we were still brutally behind.
Yeah, it's insane because like when you
like this shot, for example, they had like 30 seconds to get this shot, and I'm like, if you guys really, you gotta stop fucking peeling up that carpet, quick, and we were like just like set up the camera quickly and shot it. We had to get it at the last second.
It's just one of those things that when you've got a lot of prosthetics and a lot of makeup effects and everything, and then when you're dealing with rain as well and kid actors and animals, it like everything, the time just. You lose time so quickly.
Yeah, we couldn't have the same energy that we did with Talk to Me. Like, it had to be way more considered.
Yeah.
But some days we were, I think, it's something we've got to get on top of, Danny. I feel like sometimes the first half of the day goes a bit slow, don't you reckon?
Okay, we're not here to do production.
All right, let's
critiquing.
talk to production about that one.
Let's just have a look at this. This was just sort of to convey the closeness between them and... You know, I don't know, even this shot here and conveying that, like, Andy's in that dark and he's got this dark side about him, and so he's... But again, pulling Piper into the light. Oh, I love their relationship and the way that they were together. They were so awesome. You really felt the bond. You really felt them. Like, and Sora really trusted Billy, and Billy really trusted Sora.
Yeah, we did bonding exercises with them before the shoot. So we took them to like a football game, bloody Aussie rules football, AFL. And Billy went as Sora's brother. And was like helping her and
guiding her through and talking her through the match when he needed to. Oh gosh, there she is in the light. Oh my gosh, yeah, Sora's awesome.
Such beautiful writing.
This is
such a great writer, Danny.
Jeez, Michael, it's the only compliment you've ever given me, and it was sarcastic.
I was talking about Michael, me.
Well, you didn't write anything, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
This was shot on 2 different days here. I really wanted to get in close of Sora. Just to really convey this thing where she's feeling it, and it's just a moment of calmity before we enter.
It's probably the only scene of calm.
I know, and it's there was a whole lot of other stuff that we shot that was like building up Andy's character and his backstory, and there was a whole lot of character in the film, but it just wasn't adding anything, and it was like the pacing felt a little bit off. So again, it's one of those things that you find in editing that is painful sometimes to cut stuff that you really love because there were really strong
I'd
scenes.
say there's more, like the initial cut of this was
2 hours. It was
2 hours.
over 2 hours, wasn't it?
It was over 2 hours.
Yeah.
2:10 or something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And here we are. They're entering Laura's world.
Into the circle.
Here we are.
This was the first scene that we shot with everyone all together. So we did one day for this scene. Like the whole day was this scene. Them in the house meeting Laura.
Because it's so hard when this is the first time that you're going to establish the characters, and this is going to carry on throughout the film. So this is like all these close-ups of Piper and touching just to try and convey,
Piper's
how
point
she
of view.
Yeah.
The other senses. Not
yeah.
through
What's
vision.
Piper's visual language?
Feeling, hearing.
Sally Hawkins. Woo! We love Sally to death. She's so incredible, and it was so amazing just working with the costume designer, even to find the language of her costume. And like she's starting off with these oranges, and then slowly as the film progresses, we go down to browns. And there's a flashback towards the end of the film where she's like living back the moment where Kathy had passed away, and you see her in greens, and that's the way she was before Kathy's passing. And then yeah, she's rotting all the way through this. All these sort of greens downstairs, and then when you go into Laura's room, you see all the rotted browns, and that's when we start to convey that part of her psyche.
Looks like Danny's room.
Oh my
Rotting
gosh,
brown.
it is a rotting brown. Oh, look at this. This is like a real taxidermy dog that we had on set. The owner was nice enough to share it with us, and it was surprisingly calm to touch, and you did feel a sense of affection.
I did. I stayed at the house one night, and they put it in the bedroom, and I was like, every time I looked at it, it was like staring at me. I had to put it outside, you know.
Oh, leave the dog alone. Don't touch it. It wasn't yours. I love Andy's braces as well, which was obviously going to become the way that Piper sort of recognizes and figures out that it's Andy on the floor later on in the film. But that was a whole process, like finding the right color scheme for that as well.
Fuck off, you fat fucking fuckers.
That was one of the that was one of the lines. We had Sally try different variations of that line. Something to show that she's. It's a little bit inappropriate with the kids to be saying, you know.
Yeah, she's a little bit off.
She's a little bit brash.
But, you know, what I love about Laura's character, the way that Sally was able to bring her to life, is the way that she's able to toe the line or, like, have that sense of maternal, you know, like a motherly instinct. I feel very maternal, but then also she's a little bit psychotic.
We may or may not know a few people like that.
Oh, it's so... Yeah, Sally was so incredible, and building the character of her like in such a deep way. Like she lived and breathed the character, and it's like every day after we'd shoot, it was sort of like we do things and we get together with the crew, like our head crew, just to sort of like evaluate the day to see, you know.
That was real.
Yeah, she did hit that for real. Thorns and roses. It was like what were the 2 roses of the day? These amazing things. Then what were the 2 thorns? What was something that we could improve on? So just so there's a constant communication with the crew and a constant communication with the actors, just so we can, you know, make sure everyone's comfortable. Josh, the chickens, yes. Chickens and cats.
So many more animals, Annie. Animals and children. The 2 things you're not supposed to shoot with.
I know, but it always brings the film to life. Look at all these rotted backgrounds as well. Oh my gosh, I love this.
This whole house.
We paved that pool. So like all of that tiling was not in there. It was just like one sort of light green color. And we went in there and tiled the pool. Finding the house was such a tricky thing because we wanted to find a place where the pool was at the heart of the house, where it was at event, like any room that you were in, that you could see the pool.
And he's standing in the circle in the pool.
There he is.
This is where the beginning and the end with Laura, isn't it?
Yes. And we went to shoot the scene twice because initially Ollie had a different makeup look and it just looked a bit silly. Like he had these big fake teeth and everything. And we just sort of lost his face, and we lost what was captivating about it to begin with. So we had to reshoot that.
Jonah Wren Phillips, by the way, that's Oliver.
Yes,
he is incredible. He is awesome.
So awesome. And then we even had, because there's so much prosthetics later on in the film, we'd offered, you know, him and his parents, where it was like, we could get a different actor to start doing the prosthetics. Like once his body starts to break down, the demon starts to break out, we could have a different actor play it, but he really wanted to do it all himself. So all the makeup and all those effects, it's all him. It's so incredible.
You're done, darling.
This scene was everything with Sally as just shooting with her and giving her the smallest note of direction, and she can like change. Each take's like a little bit different, but in the right vein. It's so amazing to watch.
Yeah,
I always love that part when she puts her head. Even Sally, like imagine a 2-time Academy Award nominated actor. And then sometimes we do joke takes where we say her, "I'll come in singing," or come in, and she'll do it.
Well,
in
we
character.
did it. Michael did.
I always did.
Yeah.
Usually when we're behind schedule too, but it's worth it. We've got to do outtakes because it's so funny. There's so many.
There's a history
awesome
behind
takes.
the wall there as well. I'm not going to get into it because I want to break down everything or like have things left up for a bit of interpretation. But there's a history behind everything, including the wall that she's measuring them on. Which is a little bit rubbed out. It's looking a little fresh.
A little bit like the glasses she's wearing.
The glasses that she's wearing?
I don't know.
Andy's slowly starting to sense something's maybe a little bit off of the house
Like,
here.
what's this here?
What's this? What's going on here?
What's this painted line here?
Do you know what's really tricky and difficult is
Is that this house, this here is a set.
all upstairs is a set.
All upstairs is a set. All downstairs is real. So like we're on location and then half the house is location, half the house is a set. It would have been easier if this was the location because we would have been able to light it easier. When you're shooting in there's big open windows, so you can see the pool and the outside, but the light dictates so much of when you can shoot and things like that because it's natural light. So it was like
I love shooting on location so much. So I'd rather be on location than on the set.
Oh, always. Yeah, it is, but it's also
design
you're at the mercy of the elements.
Yes, but it always looks so much more incredible. But they did, the production design.
So what are you saying? This looks bad?
Such a good. No, she did such a
No,
good job
no,
of this.
I mean-
And then even that shot of like she's pulling Piper away from Andy in that moment. So that one shot when they're walking down the hallway, just to get a sense of she's starting to take Piper as her own and sort of leave Andy out. She's subtly jabbing at him all the way through this. She's
Well,
in a
even
bit
with
of dark
those-
there, bit of dark stepping
Those
out.
beads is so she can always hear who's coming and going.
Well, yeah, she's and there's all these texture
Little
things
control.
like around Kathy's room. That's a thing that we found with, with a lot of the non-sighted people that we're interviewing and vision impaired. Like they love textures and having things that they could really feel, and it helps them locate places and know where they are.
There was a one of the beads, one of the like strips that we took out the bells and the beads, so Laura would be able to slip in and out without being heard.
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's cool.
So I'm always captivated by both their performances. I love this scene as well.
Am I being defensive?
Come on, look at you. Arms
She's
crossed.
like put him into this thing. She's sort of trying to make him feel a little bit unwelcome, and it's sort of like Laura all the way through this is breaking Andy down and trying to make him that if he's going to try and dob, like Laura in or say like she's done something to my sister, there's something wrong, that he's just going to be completely unreliable and anything he says doesn't hold any weight or any merit.
It's one of those things that she's trying to exploit and find out any kind of weakness from him. And the anger thing is one that she picks up on.
Absolutely. It's just,
She knows that about the incident when he was a kid with Piper, and she's using this any way she can to kind of get under his skin and exploit that.
So Oliver's a fucking weirdo, is he?
What I also love about Laura, and we start to see it all the way through, like a bit further into the film, is she's struggling with what she has to do. It's not something that she's finding easy to do. It's tricky. It's like she's really, really struggling with it, which I love. Like even just in the backdrop there of those trees and stuff, there was like a big printed out.
Oh my god, you guys should see how big the printed out forest was behind.
Yeah, but it looks so real. Like I love how the production team were able to pull it up, execute it.
Poor Billy had to do like 300 set reps of this.
Yeah, like, we want it to feel real. Like, come on, do it again, Billy.
Yeah. Keep going till you can't go anymore.
There, we love these texture things. They did such a good job here.
This is the dollhouse, right?
Well, yeah, it's sort of like this isn't Piper's world. She's sort of being placed into this thing as if a doll being placed into a dollhouse. It was, a sort of feeling that we're going for, and oh my gosh, I love this. And this is like Laura's entered a bit of a fantasy world here, so there is a magical quality to the sound design here and to the room, and
Dark
and then
magic.
again, like leaning into that light and dark and stuff. Like we're showing this through Laura's perspective, and then as night falls into this house, there's an eeriness.
We had 2 cameras this shoot, and it was always a competition with them, like who can get the better shot. So sometimes when there's like a camera, like for some of the exteriors and stuff.
Yeah, it was like
We'd
trying
pit
to
them
find
against each
mood
other.
pieces and stuff. Just because like when the elements are coming together and like when rainfall is going to happen or when there's a storm coming, it's just to be able to have that camera to be able to capture those shots if someone else is inside shooting.
What is she up to here? What is this mysterious?
We
videotape?
wanted an inversion for the home videotapes, and that we wanted there to feel a bit of an inversion from the happy home videos that she's got of her daughter, which is sort of a healthy way of grieving and processing everything, and then there's this sort of twisted inversion. And there's a little website that's down there on the bottom right, somewhere she may or may not have purchased this tape from. And again, the mythology is about, like, we've written out this big Bible like this, and like we did talk to, but I love only hinting at it and getting a feeling of it.
I think it's clear. Would you say? No.
No, I don't know. There we are. She's sort of taken down any image of Kathy, and like she's like has to stop picturing her as she was, knowing that she's about to go into a different body. She's going to be embodying someone else. She's going to look different, but her soul and her presence and her personality is going to be herself. But she has to try and detach and like not remember how Kathy used to look, I feel. See,
Yeah.
we love being on location. All these things on location. So this is on location.
Yeah. McCluskey. Pull focus there. Just...
McCluskey's our DOP.
Yeah, Aaron McCluskey. He's incredible.
Yeah. So
This
shot,
next scene.
Yeah.
So this was so he wanted to get dawn scene of painting the line in the pool, and her waiting for the storm. And we did it one morning. Like, it was so cool because we said to Sally, "Oh, do you want to come in like on the weekend and we'll get together at like 5 a.m. and just me, you, Danny, and McCluskey and makeup, and then we'll go and shoot this stuff." And she was down for it. So it was just no crew around, and we just went there and like shot it like
Yeah, this here. No one's here. This is on the weekend.
all this morning stuff.
Yeah,
and it has
she's
this amazing light about it, like that. Yeah, that kind
You
of.
can't fake the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't fake that light. And it was so freeing sometimes, like when you're just there and there's no crew around, you go able to explore and perform and just, it just filming Laura in the space. That was another thing that Sally was did to bring to the character. Like, she helped dress the house. She went shopping as Laura. She filled every cupboard with things that Laura would have, filled the cupboard with. And then, again in the rehearsal process, which is like finding the character and like having a lived sense of history, is like having characters act out different moments that weren't in the film. Like part of their personality, part of their history, just to make it feel lived in.
Do you know how that shot there inside the washing machine is so interesting because like it was creating a washing machine with special effects that there's no back half of it, and that so you could shoot through it, but it also has like a water element to it.
Yeah.
If you saw what that looks like, those shots when there's close-ups or under things, and that is always so surreal to watch how they're done, because you can't stick a camera in a washing machine; it just wouldn't work. So you got to figure out ways to do it. That was a dummy dad.
Yeah, dummy
So
dad.
all that stuff with Piper and that with the trying to do bring a dad back was all with a dummy head, which is amazing.
And we had two
amazing.
incredible prosthetics team on this film. So we had Megafex and we had Scarecrow, and they were able to tackle different aspects of production, and it was fun to sort of pit them against each other a little bit.
You pit a lot of people against each other.
Well, no, in a fun competitive way. Where you're like, oh, did you see what Scarecrow did? That makeup effect was pretty good. What are you guys doing over here? In a fun way.
But yeah, some of those shots were, man.
I mean, all those prosthetic shots and all that. Yeah, I love when there's weight behind the prosthetics and the makeup and not let it
This is
just
the
be.
first time Andy is lying to Piper.
Oh,
not
that's not
looking.
true at all.
Well,
These lads were
On
grapefruit.
this is one of the big ones on a grapefruit.
On a grapefruit.
On a grapefruit.
Grapefruit is a real phrase that my co-writer uses with his partner when they're sort of trying to say, I'm being serious right now. Like, you have to tell me the truth. They use grapefruit for that because there's always, they joke around quite a lot with each other.
Yes, but Andy cannot look at the body. Now, what is...
Yes, which is this weird thing that actually happens with Greek Orthodox funerals is that these open caskets, and then the deceased, a dead person's at the front of the funeral, at the front of the, what is it freaking called? What's it called? The church or wherever you're doing it, and then people come up and they kiss the heads of the corpse. They
I
kiss
remember
the
when our
person.
grandfather died, and he was in his room, and like his body was on the bed, and everyone had to go up and kiss him on the head.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I was like, oh, okay.
And there's a healthy way of grieving, and people, you're not forced to do it. So like this idea that Laura's grabbing him and forcing him, just again trying to unravel him a little bit, but also like showing she's got a bit of a strange relationship with death.
Yeah, she's comfortable with death. In a
Yeah,
different way. You see that in multiple ways. That's the same with the taxidermy dog.
Well, she
has a different relationship.
She's struggling to let things go. And also, backtracking to our grandfather's death, it was like a big part of our childhood, and I just remember so vividly our grandfather trying to give him CPR, and I remember the vomit.
Your grandfather trying to give him
My
CPR.
dad trying to give our grandfather CPR, and the vomit that was stuck in his beard. And it's like always those uncomfortable memories from childhood that you tap into that stuff and try to explore that. So, and it was so scary for me to enter his room. And like I ended up having to try and confront that fear. So I ended up moving into his room, Bupple's room, grandfather in Greek. So yeah, that's just like tying into Andy's whole thing about like struggling to be able to go into that bathroom or the place that his father died. Yeah, it's just having to, and that whole thing of like the mouth to mouth, and that being like the kiss of life or the kiss of death. Oh, yeah, it's all.
I remember that window, so it was a plate shot for Oliver to punch through the window, and it was a thick window because you couldn't have Oliver punching through it for real. but we wanted him kind of like banging against it. And then our stunt coordinator had like a fake hand to like punch it through the window, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't break. He was like it was hitting it so hard, it was like bending. It was like thick glass.
Yeah.
Hey, chicken.
That's enough of that. There was this. I actually spoke to a lot of different occultists while researching the film and looking into it and building up our lore. And for some reason, like a couple of them kept going on about birthmarks being a stain on the soul, and it's carried over from these different past traumas and these different past lives. So I remember that being like a reoccurring thing of a couple of the people that I spoke to. I find birthmarks quite beautiful, actually. Marco's got one on his leg.
I don't know what you're saying.
Why are you embarrassed about
find my leg beautiful?
That's also tapping in here, like Laura's,
She is terrifying in the scene, Sally, when she looks up to Billy.
She's sort of celebrating the dad's death a little bit here, or obviously, but also purple was Kathy's favorite color, so she's wearing that.
Yeah, she's a complete. How she's dressed compared to everyone else. And this scene, she's kind of wrapping around in like a python.
Yeah. That was also another traumatic memory, because I remember at our grandfather's funeral, there was someone that I really didn't like. That was like a friend of the family, and then as we were approaching, the funeral stuff, she like came up to me, like wrapped her arms around me, wouldn't let me go. It was like, ooh. You sort of hear that water.
It's actually it's with the camera as well, going close in on Billy.
I've got you.
He's one of those moments he feels like he can't get out of it, and she's being so comforting in a way, but also making him do something he just really doesn't want to do.
But also, again, in a perverted way too, because that's not normal. That's a little weird, that one. Oh, the guy that plays Andy's dad is actually Jonah's father in real life. So the kid that plays Oliver, that's his dad. And also because both of his parents are actors, so they were able to be there on set, and like they helped build his character with us, and they were helping him be comfortable on set and helped find Oliver and the way that he'd perform. We hate green screen. We hate green screen, so we're always like wanting to do all of this sort of stuff practically, and it's always like you have to shut down the roads, and like the actors can't drive, so there's always like.
Oh, in Adelaide, it's always such a thing if you're filming a movie, like the news and stuff. So one of these ones, we were shooting in the car driving, and the news was following, and what's going on here? What film are you guys making? And the producers are trying to tell them not to post anything or show anything like that.
I love shooting from the back of him as well. Just to have this sort of vantage point as if like Oliver is sort of experiencing himself outside of his own body.
And it's always through a zoom lens.
Yes, we love the zooms. That, again, was part of Oliver's visual language.
Yeah, that's Oliver's visual language. I've never would ever think that we would do zoom lenses, slow zooms like that.
Yeah, it was.
But it was so perfect for Oliver.
Yeah, and especially when he was like closing in on when he was focusing on Piper when she first pulled up at the house.
Why'd you say it again?
Yeah,
So this scene where they're drinking, of course not real alcohol, but we wanted Sora to have a genuine reaction when she's drinking, because it's kind of like just like apple juice or things like that. But for her, I think it was like they put like a bit of apple cider vinegar and things like that to make like give her a visceral reaction.
Yeah, like because she really did hate it.
Yeah, her reaction's like real.
1, 4.
Yeah, you'll see it in a second. They're drinking.
Muscles, it's just one drink.
It's always so complicated with drinks and bottles, continuity-wise, with where things are, glasses and things like that.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
another
watch
thing,
it.
Like it. Yeah. It's good, right?
Disgusting, you
burp.
drink that. More of a vodka slut.
You go for it. I hate vodka.
Sort of, this was developed at the same time as Talk to Me. So we were writing both Talk to Me and Bring It Back at the same time. And so there's a sort of some of the same fingerprint outline. Like both of them's got a bit of a fucked up montage. It could be fun one way that you look at it, and the other way you look at it, you're like, oh, actually, this is pretty.
It was a lot of fun.
But fucked up in a way. She's their foster mum. She's getting them hammered, and sort of letting Piper celebrate. Like she knows she's about to kill this girl. She's gonna like help her experience things that she's never gonna be able to do. In her life, but then also doing this thing to be able to get Andy drunk and get him vulnerable and find out some more secrets and like dig further into his psyche.
We shot this montage for like an hour.
No. We were shot for longer than an
Oh,
hour.
were we?
The initial cut of the montage was 40 minutes long because there was so many funny moments and yeah, Sally.
There's so many
and the kids,
hilarious
they were
moments with
hilarious
everyone.
playing this scene through. Yeah, so it was I think it was 2
There
hours
was
of shooting.
also there was a scene after this that was cut. I'll say for this one, the amount of takes they did of this, we exhausted them, so they just seemed completely just hammered.
Delusional, singing
Delusional
that
at the end.
song over and over and
over and over again. Then everyone was kind of losing their minds at
And
the end.
2
there.
circles, spin around a circle, spin around a circle, spin around a action, and then they start singing it, and everyone's just looping.
And our audio guy is looking at us because
He's like,
we're
"We can't use
playing
any
it
of
on a
this."
boombox.
Yeah,
The music.
yeah, play the music for real in the house.
So there was a scene that got cut of them after this, before this hit them passed out, of them ding dong dashing the neighbors.
Which is when you run up to a house and you bang on it, and then you sort of run away.
Ding dong dash, ding dong ditch. I think and so we did it. There was a scene where they drunkenly do that, and then Andy's driving and he drives and he runs over bins and things like that. But pacing wise and thematically, it didn't really work.
No, it did work. No, it was fun thematically. It was the pacing of this thing where it's we reached such a high, and then to keep it going, it just felt come on.
Well, yeah.
And then, but what we did in the actual in rehearsals, because
No.
well, you don't want to say it.
No.
No, we can say it is that we actually took Sally ding dong ditching. We were talking about the scene and going through it as we were breaking it down, on a script level. And then we were just do you want to go ding dong dashing, ding dong ditching? Sally's yes,
Yes,
I'd
let's
love
do
to.
it. And then we rang up Billy.
It was
and
1
he's-
a.m. We rang up
1
Billy.
a.m.
Hey, you want to
Billy's-
come ding dong ditching or Sally? He's like, yeah, all right.
He's like, yeah, all right, well, let's go. And then so we all went around ding dong ditching.
At 1
We
o'clock in the
got on
morning.
camera. We got to show it. So
It's so funny. And there's
Every house we went past, Sally was coming up with an excuse not to go to that house.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
the blinds. I don't like the blinds
Oh,
in that
that
house.
tree looks a little odd, trying to really not have to do it. And then, the house that she did end up ding dong ditching had a camera at the front of it. So the funny part is if they woke up in the morning and looked and recognized Sally, if you hadn't just got ding dong
She
ditched by
actually got
Sally
arrested
Hawkins.
for it, actually, yeah.
She did not get arrested for it.
This scene, the performances of both them was so fucking incredible. It was so hard picking. We did probably 7 takes of Sally's.
Yeah. And each one
was
same as Billy as well.
Both of them knocked this out of the park. And it's one of those things when the performances are so good, it's torturous in the edit.
to pick.
Yeah,
because
to
there's so
pick
many
which
good
one,
moments. 'Cause
which
obviously
direction
not-
to go down.
Yeah, they're never the same take. Like when performers are doing their feeling like this, they have a different feeling and they emphasize different things sometimes. And it was just so tricky.
Yeah, some of them we had Sally sink into the sadness of it. One disconnected, and all of them were fucking incredible. Same with Billy's. And it was those things. There's so many alt versions of each scenes.
Yeah, but that's what happens
they're
when you've got
playing-
incredible actors.
Yeah.
When they're feeling the emotion and they're bringing it to life. So
they were
realistically,
they're all both locked in here.
yeah.
It's so amazing.
And it was we had to. There's some VFX work coming in for some of these shots, but in a subtle way where it was just removing the boom mics because they're expressing this stuff so low that the microphone had to be right up to their mouths, and so there's microphones in these shots that had to be removed in
Not
post.
in this one.
Not in this shot, but on those shots of Andy
Yeah,
and stuff.
the
yeah.
wider ones. Yeah.
She just. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then Cornell's music as well. So beautiful.
Cornell, our composer, did
composer.
such a fucking awesome job with this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, overall, his music's fucking incredible.
Yeah. You really felt it. We sent him the script initially, and he composed us, about 15 minutes of music just off of the feeling that he got from the script, and then, even there was, we were writing to that music, editing to that music. It was so incredible.
And he does this thing, see that, the shift in tones, how he can pull that off so seamlessly is always incredible to listen to.
Yeah, it's one of those that and the sound design department, they don't get their praises sung enough. Where it's the sound of a film is so fucking important. It can control so much, and it's we have an amazing team. And Emma Bordingong, our sound designer, we absolutely adore. We worked with her on Talk to Me, and just bringing these scenes to life and finding these audio cues that help represent a character's psyche. She's just the best at it. But it's so hard, like mixing a film, controlling every line of dialogue, controlling every atmosphere, controlling every sound effect. It's such a mission.
And then even with the music, say Oliver, and there's those pops, and it's not a pop. I forgot how he did it. It's it's an instrument, and it's something when you play it a certain way, it creates that sound of like something kind of, and it's the same with what happened to Oliver, this demon coming out of Oliver, and it's like it was done with the music in this like practical way. I think it was I forgot what instrument that he done it with, but it was like creating this amazing sound.
I mean, that's not very helpful. What are you even saying?
I'm saying, do you want to get punched in the face right now?
Well, I'm just saying. I do not know. No, I don't.
This part here. So this is the scene where you can kind of question a little bit. Laura's a little bit strange. She's watching some very strange movies at night, but then this one is like she's downright fucking evil.
Well,
this is the switch into.
Well, I like that, yeah, and it's also that inversion where it's like when you're at that daytime and you've got that, you're really with the camera's point of view. And I like that at night we shift perspectives. We move over to Laura and we get more and more glimpses into her life and what's going on with her as a character. And it's always this, these sort of shots here is like I wanted like a sense of voyeurism where you're just a fly on the wall observing, and it's so detached. It's not personal in these moments. We're just like observing this character in her space, and seeing things we aren't meant to.
And it's this thing is Andy thinks he's wetting the bed. It's Laura's a child psychologist. She knows how to help children, to fix children, and by that nature, she knows how to destroy and tear down. And this is what she's doing. Is she's making it seem like he's losing his mind.
And it's like by the boxes and by the books is like when you can question these things, and it's like, she knows how to paint him a certain way.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I still applaud that production team and these sets. Like I love them.
I applaud. We did one take of this at the end of this.
See, these are Michael's random takes.
This is one of the random takes. So I told Billy to wake up when she's pouring the piece.
It's just like what's sort of interesting, and it's fun.
And
watching.
he's like, it was so funny.
Yeah,
he's like, and she's like, shh, go back to bed.
Again.
But it's it because we're dealing with. There's things when you're dealing with such heavy subject matter and stuff. You want the set to be fun and playful, and
that's true.
So people aren't so like dreary coming. You know, have some time to play as well.
That is true. That was Mark's thing. Is like to always create like a fun environment on set. And it's always like it was always at the end when we've got the takes, the performers have gotten that space, and it's like a fun way to sort of break out of it.
Yeah,
and allow them
break
to
out of like the kind of dark
Yes,
stuff.
well, you do have a point. You do have a point. Ooh, spooky Jonah.
I know you're hungry.
Little protection rune symbol there, same shape as the pool.
This is another thing like that. It's so strange when you look at these shots. Like there's like a hole in the wall that we had to like cut to put the camera to get this nice wide shot.
Yeah, that's what's always so interesting about any stuff with the horror and any stuff with makeup where everyone's like, oh, that was really intense. That must be really intense to film. It's like, no, actually, it was a lot of fun to film when you're filming with a lot of prosthetics and makeup and all this sort of stuff. Like, it's always like the practical side of filmmaking is always just like, the greatest, funnest thing ever.
This is the greatest look. Tony gives the most deadly look. Boom.
What I love about Sally as well is that she always continues to the character. Like we never cold cut straight away. We let her live in those moments, and like the character would just perform, and you never know where it would lead. It was always the most beautiful thing. Well, it was like just keep the camera rolling.
Yeah, you can keep the camera rolling, like when she's with, when she's like getting Oliver, the demon, back inside Oliver on the bed, and we just keep rolling.
Yeah.
And then she just would not stop until you cold cut.
Yeah.
Now what's happening here, Dan?
Well, look, we don't want to sit there and give things away, Michael. I mean, we've done a little bit of giving away here, but like the idea is that she's. Do we really want to sit there and explain everything? Okay, I'll quickly explain a little bit of this, but like it is a subtle thing here. Oh, really? Do we? Yeah. This is the only thing I'll say. Because I do like to leave things up for some interpretation, but and so he's eaten a bit of the cat's tail here. Very subtly, we see this bleeding tail on the couch here.
Oh, you see it when he's walking to the pool as well, the dripping.
Yeah, and it's mimicking. He's mimicking, or he's like channeling that cat in that moment. This was actually the first thing we shot in the house.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the first scene that we'd shot in the film.
Is that dirty? I'm putting a wash on before you head out.
No, I'll come back.
I'm not wasting water, Andy.
Andy's hungover.
We're always hiding somewhere as close as possible in these scenes. The shooting in the house was interesting because it's like a small film, but with a crew in there, like where to put people is always so hard. Like that when you're seeing the whole house, people like everyone's got to kind of move their equipment outside or in different because we're actually on location on a set, so having people close by but not having them in the way or in shot was always like an interesting thing.
Yeah, I remember like
And and the house is on. It's so strange. This house is on a public land almost. There's like a walking trail through the front yard of the house. So people would we're like shooting and people constantly walking past and filming, and then people would just like at night time climbing the cranes because we had cranes for the rain machines and things like that. One lady like showed up in the pool at like 2 a.m. in the morning. She was like standing like looking at the pool. But that one was strange because that was in someone's backyard, and there was this creepy lady just standing in the backyard. And security's like, excuse me, you can't be here. She's like, I'm allowed to look at the pool.
yeah, it's
And she's
very
like,
odd.
he's like, yeah, I think this is private property.
There was that. Yeah, the house had no room to move anywhere, and that like we had a very close family friend pass away right at the start of pre-production, Harley, who we dedicate the film to at the end there, and like we were still processing his passing as this and like, grieving while the shoot was happening. It was sort of it sort of started falling into the script as well, and some pages changed. But I just remember there was 2 or 3 times where I was like, I got overwhelmed by what we was shooting, and it was like reminding me of him so much, and I would break down and go for a cry somewhere, and every room there was full of people. So it was like there was just nowhere to have a private moment.
In other news, that pool shed is completely built on location.
Yes, that pool shed was not there.
And this is not a real fly.
That is not a real fly.
not
But
real.
actually, no, the one on the windowsill, it didn't get hit, but we practically shot flies
Oh yeah, buzzing around.
Yeah.
There was a fly wrangler.
There was a fly wrangler that came on set.
And he opened out this thing and the flies came out, and then he puts them back in his little thing.
Yeah. So there was a fly wrangler on set, so we had to build like a bit of a cage around that section.
But Oliver didn't eat a real fly.
No, he did not. It was like everything was always very tasty. And then, just so he can enjoy it and do take after take of eating that sort of stuff. Bit of a character trait of Andy. He's a bit of a thief, isn't he? A bit of a robber. He knows how to break into places.
You hungry?
Here we
Yeah,
are.
this is
How long you been
people's.
like
We
this?
did a test. There was like a
Oh,
test screening, and this scene was both people's most favorite scene, and the most hated scene
Well, because it's
because it's so violent. Right?
You want alright?
it's
It's
pretty,
one of those things I think like I guess with us it's like it's not that violent. Maybe stuff that we used to,
I mean, it's pretty
the
violent.
stuff that YouTube stuff.
This is like the sound of it. We couldn't fake the sound of it. There was a pass with the sound effects in there, and they sounded a little bit sound effecty, and you couldn't like that sound of metal against teeth is so specific. So when we were in the sound designer's office, I was like, "Do you want to just record me? Can you bring me a knife?" And so she brought in a knife, and I went to town chewing on some knives for this scene.
He was like clinking on his teeth. It was disgusting sounding.
But the sound is so incredible. How good does it sound?
And then this is the one like we had like Oliver Jonah like with a foam knife in his mouth chewing, and then there was like a head. We recreated a head, so the part where it like goes through his lip and things like that is like a prosthetic head, and then we did that with a real knife like slicing up through his lip. So they prosthetics team. Larry, who's incredible, had this like bit of the mouth that you could like cut up, you know.
Yeah.
But see, it's like, oh god, looks horrifying.
Yeah, and it's always like using
This close up, that
yeah.
stuff.
It's always using a little bit of VFX just to blend stuff together. But always shoot practically, always shoot the plates, and just use VFX to blend them together.
Yeah.
Ollie, what are you doing? We need to go.
Yeah, even all this stuff with the stomach moving and everything, like everything's shot practically.
Like imagine being on a walking trail and you turn around and then there's this happening. There's a big crane overhead and
Yeah, there's always people coming
Oliver's
past.
tummy's fluttering blah, 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 like a monster, and he's screaming.
All foam rocks there as well.
Yeah, that was cool. Like so, because obviously you don't want to be sliding journey across real rocks, so all there was like foam fake rocks that he can probably slide on with a mat. It's so cool, like that stuff, production design.
Yeah.
And then this, like the fluttering, it's like it's like a fake tummy, and they've got air compressor underneath, and it's like shooting
Pushing the
air up
skin up
under
and
it, and it's like
everything.
fluttering on him.
Yeah.
Makes his gut look like it's something trying to escape.
And then here comes Sally with it. And even like with that mouth shot, like the VFX there, just say like how we use it, like you could see that there was some blackout on his teeth, because obviously he couldn't knock his teeth out. So it was like about like removing that stuff in post. Just the most subtle things to help elevate each of those shots. Sally's got such an incredible scream. We use like later on in the film, it's like we use her scream as these transition points because she's got such a powerful scream.
And this is another thing with the sound design, is having Piper's voice be the calming element for Andy. He's spinning out of control, and she's the one who brings him back down to reality.
Yeah.
Her calming presence, so everything's scattered and everything. And here, when she's speaking to him, being nice and clear.
You're trying to convey a panic attack with sound design, and trying to like that, that disconnected feeling. You don't feel like you're grounded. You haven't got no grounding.
You're spinning
stuff.
out of control.
Yeah.
And she's Andy's anchor. And then Bird's written on the what Bird?
Bird. Connor Bird.
Oh, is that what that is?
Michael didn't write the film, but that's okay. Look. And this as well, like even the VHS stuff and shooting that stuff, everything shot on actual VHS cameras, because you can always tell that post effect. I hate that post look where you fake the static and you fake the look of the that VHS. So like I'd hate those presets or like doing it in digital. So all of that stuff was shot for real. And then like Jack Troisy, who was our awesome guy that we work with, VFX department, and he every shot that's in the VHS scene, he would render out 7, 8 different times, sometimes 18 times when I really wanted the static to come in, with different amounts of static. And I was able to edit and put together the way that I wanted the static to come in through the production, like rewinding and fast forwarding these takes for real.
It's so funny. If this was real life, because Jonah's so multi-talented. He's actually a Muay Thai fighter as well. Like he said he's 10 years old and he's had 3 fights. So if this was a real scene, he would have been like kneeing and elbowing her, and it would have been a big.
I don't know about that. I think Sally could have held her
Sally,
own.
yeah, it should have.
Sally
But it would have been a
knocked him
UFC showdown.
It would have been a showdown. Bit of Veronica's there.
And then that's with the static as well, going into with Laura's headspace.
Yeah,
This one,
yeah,
everything
to like
happens a
to
few
captured
times
in that snow. Yeah, where she's getting lost in her madness.
Yeah, getting lost. To see here, you hear it
Yeah, I love the sound work.
here. Shh, you can hear it.
Are you trying to? Yeah, people can hear it. Can't they?
Do you guys hear that? They won't hear it because you won't shut the fuck up and let them listen.
Yeah, I'm trying to give my commentary some breaks and stuff. Mark says I'm talking too
I'm
much.
joking.
No.
Don't say you're doing great. I don't think anyone's listening right now. But let's continue.
For the 2 people listening, we do appreciate you purchasing the Blu-ray and having a listen. We hope you're learning something.
There was an extended shot of that of her locking the door,
Will he be okay?
which I really didn't like losing, guys.
Yeah, we're so tied to every frame while we're editing. So and then because
Oh my god! Like
We
even that shot where she turns at the end there, and it's in her headspace. It's so hard once you lock a cut, once you lock an edit. Going in and extending something or changing a shot is so hard because it has to get changed and then go across all these different departments and all these different post people that are working on sound, Foley, music. It's got to get these changes have got to get put into each of those versions of the film. So, and there was so many times I feel so bad where once we're doing the sound design, once we're doing the music, it's like that edit works when you don't have that stuff included. But then with it included, it wasn't long enough of a break before you cut outside to the room. And so I felt so bad like 3 times. And we love our producer, Samantha Jennings, so much. She would allow me to go, okay, cool, and like re-render and it's always small things like 13 frames on the end of that final shot of Laura looking to the side and like 5 frames of the head of the next shot just to give us that extra beat,
Yeah.
It's always, and that's the thing is from going say from YouTube to film, there's so many more people involved and every kind of decision has to be really thought about because the implications of pulling something like that off it's just so complicated.
And Michael did it like 3 times.
I did it 3 times. I really tried to be okay, but when you're watching something and it's just not clicking, it's just not. There's like a flow that you feel is right, and I could be wrong. I don't know, but I always just have this pacing and this flow in my head. Like I did it on Talk to Me as well before Riley smashes his head on the table, and I'm like, oh, it's 3 frames too short, and they had to re-render the whole movie to do that. To get that in.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about this movie.
About this film, that circle around the house, like the production team painted for real this giant circle around the house. 20% of that is VFX, like stitching it together, but we actually painted 80% of that circle around the house. We couldn't paint over the walking trail, was the only thing that sort of stitched us. So there's like a moment there that is, we had to sort of blend in with the VFX. But yes, always love grabbing as many practical elements as possible. This is one of the earlier scenes that we did as well.
There's a guy that his name's Michael Gilmore. He's a friend of ours, but he always finds a way to get on set somehow, because he wasn't on the crew, but he'd find ways to get in on set. And then he, because he works with like medical equipment and things like that, he came on for that. And I'm like, all right, put a nurse's outfit, and doctor's outfit on and come help with this scene. So you see him run up in the background there. Yeah, that's a completely pointless story that has nothing to do with anything. So
but there he is. There's Gilmore, and he helped out with Talk to Me as well, like bringing us the medical equipment. Here we are, second half of the film. The rain hits, and rain, oh my lord!
This day we were splitting up, shooting different shots. So I was getting those shots, and then Danny, you were doing Andy coming out of the car. And those things, when it starts raining for real, it's like getting camera, quick, run outside!
Yeah, quickly, it's raining! So it's like trying to capture as much of the actual rain as possible. And then also, there was a giant crane that was above the house at all times that was there to control all of those rain scenes. Like all of that is just...
Yeah, so that's the thing is, we didn't realize how much work rain is. Because when we did Rain on Talk to Me, it looked so amazing. And the second half of this film is in rain. Doing it practically when it's not raining is like the setup and the... like there was a crane with this massive... like hose from a fire truck, like on top of this, like suspended on top of the house, like spinning water, and then on the windows and things like that. And once you do a shot like someone dry to wet, and then the clothing, sound, all that stuff, it gets so complicated. And messy.
And then also you can only shoot certain things at certain times of the day, because if it's a sunny day, luckily that was one of the other things about picking the location for the house. It was sort of in this valley or this grove, so the sun sort of set a bit early because it fell behind the hills, and that's when there's no direct sunlight, there's no direct shadow, so that's when you can really control the rain in the film and make it feel like it's raining for real. So there's some scenes in there where we only had 2 hours to shoot certain shots because that's when the light will be right.
But even here, so this is a set, so it's upstairs, and see the reflections on the on left there on the wall and stuff. We had rain machines in the studio, and then they had to figure out ways to have that rain hit the window.
Because I wanted every single shot, I wanted to feel like it's raining inside the house. And every single one of these sets from the upstairs bedroom is like a sense where it's raining inside the house.
Yeah, and we didn't want to do it with VFX. Yeah. But the practical, that thing of water going inside a studio, going down onto the ground into these pools, and then getting suctioned out, and then reused. There's such a process to pull off things that seem so simple when you're watching it.
Oh my gosh, here's a quite awesome story. So we made a deal with Sophie Wilde, who was in Talk to Me, that she would be in every single one of our films. And so she made a cameo in this scene. This is one of the first things that we shot, this footage that Laura's watching.
It was the first thing we shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the very, very, very first thing that we shot in pre. And there's, you only see her arm. So there's one there, that's Sophie on the right.
Yeah, that's Sophie Wilde on the right.
That's
there.
a cameo there. So she played middle-aged Mum 4, which was her character.
She was dressed as a pirate.
She was.
We really tried to get her in, but the shots of the videotape were so important of what you see where, and that it's that thing with the Kathy's face as well. We didn't ever want to probably
probably fall on that. Yeah.
Until the ending.
This is a very sound design led scene, which I love the sound design and the element of that. Whereas Andy's sort of concussed and he's not completely in his right state of mind. And then, which the true thing with friends and with concussions and stuff is your mind isn't completely there yet. And you could have a whole sort of you could live hours and not remember that sort of stuff and forget things so easily. I remember when I had a car crash when I was 16. I sort of split the top of my eye open and I was in hospital and I was concussed. And I thought I was telling people that I lived on a certain street, but I was mentioning that as my last name. Everything's sort of muddled and you're your feet aren't on the ground yet. You're too scattered.
He said something.
Sally. I mean, Billy as well. But yeah, it's just one of those things Sally, analyzing every single line of the script, breaking down every single part of the dialogue, and it's sort of even a small line, when they're doing their D&M, Laura says in the script, she's I would have done just about anything to hear her call me mum one more time. She's could I say I would do anything? like keep it in the present tense, and then like even a small thing like that like adds so much weight to the character and to the script, and it's like that's how close of an eye she's got on the script and on her character.
Hey, don't worry.
And as well as like, and the process of working with her as well, of like we shot things in a certain order for Sora's scene as well, but also for Sally as well, to try and keep things as linear as possible. She can live as many of those moments and have them,
Yeah, like to build to those bigger moments. It's great as well, because then it's like there's a real, you're not putting yourself in a headspace of, oh, where's that character going to be in?
Wait, look at this. Very subtle aspect ratio change. Like I wanted these moments, like she's stepping back through times and she's like reliving everything that she wanted, and to capture this like, this feeling, this euphoric feeling of Laura in this moment.
Where for our hearts opening up.
Yeah, everything's opening up. And I think this is when like Laura's really struggling with what she has to do. She's sort of turning back time in this moment. And so we really capture this next wide shot with the rain sort of, we've got it in reverse and it's falling upwards. Like Laura is where she's always wanted to be. Like she has her daughter again in these moments. Like they've reunited. Yeah, it's one of my favorite shots in the film now.
And it's one of my favorite fucking score pieces, Cornell.
Again.
Listen to this! I remember like when he showed me this piece, and then I was sitting in his studio. He has an awesome studio. It's like a sauna, this like one of those circular saunas, but inside it, because it keeps the audio in there nicely, and he has all these like equipment in there, and it's in his backyard. It's so fucking cool, and he makes this magic in there.
Piper!
We're gonna have to rate this.
See that pool shed in the background? They built that. That was probably my favorite thing from production design.
Oh, really? The set? Yeah.
And when we were doing the rain, so like this pool shed, because this is on location, that they built. When we were like doing those big rain shots, it started flooding into the pool shed, and it went up to like knee height, and they had to like dig it out. And it was once we were shooting inside the house, and then water was leaking to the house. That's how much like it came. Like there was that much like pelting into the.
Yeah, and even this thing was like ADR is like additional dialogue recording. We have to re-record certain lines because like it's not clean enough, or like you didn't capture it enough. But like there's certain scenes like this where, like I think like some of the people on the the audio team were talking about re-recording some of this dialogue to keep it clean because the water was interfering, but it like disturbed the performances too much. So like fall back into this exact headspace that they're in these moments here, and like re-record stuff. Like it feels a little bit disconnected. So it's just one of those moments where it's like it's raining in the background. Let's just accept that there's some murkiness in some of the audio, and like just like run with that, because like you can't like to try and recreate some of those performances is just like it sometimes takes the soul out of the production, out of the performance.
There's such an amazing scene between them both.
Yeah. Like this could have been a turning point, I think, for Laura. Like this is, she gets rejected a little bit here, so she's realizing that she's
thinking maybe
lose.
this could work.
Maybe
like she's connecting with Piper so strongly here.
Well, there's the makeup. So this is that prosthetic thing. This is Mrs. Megafex that did this Kathy corpse, which was so incredible, and it's the same that performer that we saw that was playing Kathy in those flashbacks. They like created this corpse version of her, and it's just like. I just can't believe how they're able to bring it to life. And even like the conversations of how to fake the ice. And like
it's fake ice, which is unreal. It looks freezing cold, but it's like it's fake ice. It's all
it just shows that's what the best part about making a film is like collaborating with all these different artists and everyone throwing their creative energies into something to bring something to life. And it's just like I love it. It's a bit like a carnival sometimes, because there's all these like personalities in this one place, but like it's it's the most amazing.
See, doesn't that look freezing cold? And it looks freezing cold, but that's not real ice. Like it's incredible, and the body looks unreal.
Yeah, and this is and like this shot coming up. Like I love trying to visually tell story without dialogue as well. So like this was one of those moments here as well when we're with Laura and going in this like transition into the pool, like her being consumed by this, this idea that she's gonna bring her daughter back to life, and she feels like she's drowning in this moment, and it's sort of like tying everything back to the pool, back to this drowning, back to this ritual that she's gonna have to perform.
The line in the
Look at the line. Did you
the
guys see the
line,
line?
Sorry.
No. And even here to convey like Andy's moment here in his fractured headspace too, and it's sort of like we love this idea of not being able to make out what she's saying. Like he's not even focusing on this dialogue, and he's so disconnected by from what she's saying.
Yeah, and,
And using that
the
audio-
windshield wipers being the focus.
Yeah, and that transition point there, and it's feeling like Andy's heartbeat a little bit. And yeah, just trying to convey in a way. Like, I wonder if it lands with many people. It's like she's allowed Piper to go out into the rain, even though she's promised that she would, and like her muddy shoes are by the.
Yeah, he
by the
sees
door.
that and he's like, "You're fucking lying to me."
You lied. Michael was asleep
Oh
under
my
this
God,
bed.
I'm
This
so
is the most
embarrassed.
embarrassing story. We were recording this, and we were recording this really tender moment, and there was like this snoring, and I was like, "Oh, Sora's snoring." And it was like, Sora sounds like she's snoring like a man.
I feel so bad, but I was
And then it was
up
Michael
for a few
under
days
the
straight.
Michael under the bed.
I was under the bed with the monitor, and it was in between setups. And sometimes when you, it's like it's slow in between setups. And I was under the bed, and it was like really dark, and I was just looking at the monitor. And I had a pillow in me, and I was just like dozed off. I was like, God, how long did this set up? And I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then in the next shot,
I
they're
never
doing this
fell asleep
amazing
on set.
performance, and I'm like,
And everyone's like, "Who's snoring?"
and
right
I feel
now?
bad. Everyone thought it was Sora.
Sora.
Sora's like, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's coming from under the bed. And then Billy goes to look under the bed, and Danny's like, "Oh, roll up again." He's like, "Oh," he goes up
Do you know
again.
what's so funny is that that like Michael goes so hard when we're shooting, because like we edit on set, so when we're shooting we're editing, so Michael goes through these things like sometimes where he stays up for 2 to 3 days straight of like editing coming to set, and this was just at the end of one of those like 3-day things. We just sort of crashed out.
And it was like the first time I'd laid down. And I was under the bed to like be, because I wanted to be in the room and I'd give direction from under the bed. And then, yeah, I just fell asleep.
Olga, our incredible stunt performer as well, she like also performed the stunt of running over the Andy and,
Yeah, so
and then driving into the
Yeah,
the car.
she's incredible. She's
an
a
incredible
hanging.
performer. And she did all the dialogue as well for the tape and the ritual. All this was Look at all this practical. Look at the look. I don't know. I love that VHS aesthetic. It's just so beautiful. We've got all these old childhood videos that we used to shoot on video, and there's just something about there's an eeriness to that quality. Yeah, again, all real static, all real like going through there and breaking it apart just to
But not real blood and not a real resurrection.
believe it or not, guys. But it was just part of those things as well. Like when we were doing those occult research as well, I had dressed up as a character named Trevor, so I had this long sort of black wig on, and I dressed up in a certain way, and then I would just talk to these people, these occultists, and like talk about these rituals and like learning about all different, summoning spells. There was one woman that thought that she could turn into a cat. There was another guy that like practiced necromancy as well. And yeah, you hear about the toad ritual where they used to sacrifice toads for like good luck. Michael tries that one.
No, I had no part of that stuff. This is see, that's a VFX hole in the glass there.
Well, no, it was a practical thing that we shot, but it wasn't broken in that moment because it was shot before that. So
Yeah.
we had to place that in.
So, yeah, this is one of those big shock scenes, and I've got to give it to Sora. She's a champ for taking this.
She's a champ for taking this punch.
No, so this was this is interesting. So this shot, this is a robotic arm, like it's like so because it's like an interesting plate shot that you have to be. The camera move has to be exact. So we couldn't risk messing it up. So this is on this strange robotic arm, and the guy had to fly down from.
Yeah,
So,
some
where
different
was
state
that?
they're bringing in because there was none in South Australia.
Yeah, it was none in Australia.
Well,
He
yes,
had-
like she's not. These two people aren't in the same shot. So Sora's in a separate shot, and Laura's in a separate shot.
Yeah, but doing that with a moving shot, it's so
It's a
complicated.
tricky thing to pull off. But I love the effect of it. Like you can't. It just feels so boom. So someone's there in that shot, sort of pushing Sora's head down, and
Yeah. And then it was like a dummy head for Laura to hit.
yeah.
And then this is not a cult to the VFX. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
No, but there's also Kojo who helped do effects in Stage 23.
There's a bunch of different people
yeah.
on it. Yeah, everyone. Was.
And then it's
This was sorry. I'm just gonna say this shot here. That wasn't planned. That was literally when we were shooting this like scene with the rain there. It created this circle against the window. It looked so fucking weird.
Well, and again, tied into all the imagery and the motifs of the film.
It was so
I
strange, like,
couldn't get a lens
circular
on that.
imagery was
Get
so-
a lens.
Here he is.
Yeah, get a lens because the circular imagery is so prominent in the film, and that was just
Anything on
happening
the
on the side. So strange.
Show him love.
This is the kettle
Oh, Papa,
boiling and exploding.
Yes, yes.
And there's always something so
hinting at
amazing.
Only being able to see that demon and those reflections and within the water and within the glass. And oh my gosh, everyone's performances are
Didn't you?
And this was the one, so there's always an energy when you play through a scene in its entirety like a play. There's this amazing energy that comes with it. So there was, when we're doing the punch in the wall, we really wanted to have that build up and explosion. And when you put on a spot to like, okay, action, now you're at this peak intensity in emotion, it's sometimes hard to emulate what would be like playing it from the beginning. So remember we did this scene and we did it in sections and then as long as we could on continuous takes, but then we did like this continuous one and then I kind of just went with the camera and just like went through each into each room and then like building up to the punch, and then that's the shot that we use when Billy punches the hole next to Laura's face. It was so like you could feel the energy. It was like this crazy explosion, but only because they were able to like lead into it as much as possible. And Sally loved doing that as well. Like as she would start from like the beginning of Laura waking up to lead up to one of these scenes if she could. The more that you can give for the build up, the better.
Look at that. So Sally also refused to wear stunt pads and any of that sort of stuff. So like her taking those falls for real on the floor.
Yeah, like, even in rehearsals, we're rehearsing this with no one around, and she's like, Andy's like pretending, Billy's pretending to throw down, and she's like diving, like falling onto the ground. We're like, Sally, chill, Sally. Like she was like, in every time you're rolling, even on rehearsal, she's in 100%. It's the best. And so this to put the punch in the wall, because we had a couple of replaceable parts of that wall. That wall came out, and then we were able to like slide in another one. Like it's so awesome that the construction team made that this interesting part of the wall that could slide out and another one could slot in.
Yeah, we had to move Junkman for that scene because we didn't want it to get Pom Pom, the dog. We didn't want him getting damaged.
Come on, Papa guy.
Yeah, you can feel this between them, and again, this is just one of those moments that you're sort of leading up to with everybody and with Saw, and like playing through all of those scenes just give all these scenes so much gravity and weight, and it just allows the actors to build up to it and really feel these moments.
And even that part, Laura faking to scream because she knows that Piper can hear it.
Yeah, conveying. Yeah.
And like so she knows, and she's like, there's almost like a grin on her face watching it. Like so that's all those subtle things that she's doing to pick Andy apart, push him to the edge.
This is also one of those weird coincidences. The way this mirror fell and got hit by the tire. I don't know, I always found that like odd. Just me, Michael? Do you find that quite magical? This is another of those moments where it started raining for real outside the house. But like, quickly get a lens on it!
Yeah.
It's just one of those moments because, I try and capture as much realism as possible.
This is interesting. This is a pickup shot. So this is one day, and then there's a pickup shot of the going in on Oliver and Andy's face, because we really wanted to mark that his realization. So here is a completely different. This was like months after, and this shot, because the way that we shot it, we forgot. Like we didn't like the way that we shot it and the time that we had to get it. We didn't really have this thing of like going in and him really noticing that it was, that this is Connor Bird. So it was like one of those shots that we had to go back and reshoot to really hit the nail on the head of it.
I'll be good to let off some steam. Come on.
This was at the end of a day, trying to get this Sacco on the wall there. Noah Sacco, everyone.
Laura told me you hit your sister.
So yeah, this was shot on the same day as that opening scene at the DCP Department of Child Protection.
Would you say your grief over Dad is getting better?
It's
or
not
worse?
about my fucking dad.
Yeah, Laura's hitting certain things and painting a certain image for Wendy, and they've got like a sense of history together because they've worked together for 20, 25 years. So she knows how to manipulate things into her favor against Andy.
Nearly 20 years.
So we're about to come into our very vicious. This is probably the most violent scene in the movie, which is the scene right here.
So Jonah was like standing by the fridge here, and there was the props assistant like standing on a bench throwing all that stuff on the ground, and Jonah's holding the milk, and then he goes khunk, and then you see it here, he goes vunk, and pulls see that there was like this props made this awesome thing where he could like grab it and like bite off this section of the milk, so it did that.
Yeah.
But it's like a different person throwing all that all that stuff onto the ground.
But yeah, it's like how to execute all of these things, like while on set and stuff. So it's like finding a way to like, how can we practically eat a table? How can we practically eat his hand? How can we practically do the knife bite and stuff? So even like small things like biting the carton was like that devised a way to do that. Which we love the props master and that whole team. Yeah, and Laura sort of, like, she could heal from these wounds, she could heal from this grief, and so like towards the end of the film, like deciding to like keep the wounds open and just succumb to it. There's Oliver as well, because he's consumed a little bit of Laura. He's mimicking her here. And it was like interesting to try and find his like cues or like his sound design that like led into his character. So those throat pops and clicks.
That's the nephew's name, the redhead kid.
Yeah, but he doesn't have red hair. It's him.
And then it was one of those things like, so for the table, it's to make it kind of almost fun for Jonah to eat, so it's not just because it's like balsa wood, but in the middle was chocolate. So he could eat it and it be kind of like nice in a way. Like you want to make it as comfortable as possible to do this stuff. So you see him like eating, there's like chocolate in the middle, and then he's eating it. It looks so horrific, but then after we called cut, he's still like chewing on the table. He's like, it's pretty good. This is a really nice table. But it looks nasty. And that's one of the things Danny was doing with the sound people, like actually biting tables. Danny was biting tables and trying to make it sound as real as possible.
Yeah, and we bought like a whole bunch of like this different wood that we filmed up close to me, just chewing onto wood. Like the sound is just so...
Again, well, that's a lot of the thing. It's like the visual and the sound is so important in sequences like this.
Yeah, it helps sell that reality. Oh my gosh, this is just so vicious. It's one of those things that you write and you don't think it's going to be that horrific, and then when you start shooting it, like, god damn.
And that was an amazing prosthetic there where he could like pull off like a string off his arm. And this extra bite, we kept this second bite in there because we were like, it might get cut, like the rating, it might be too much, and they'll probably ask us to remove it, and then they did. So there's an extra bite in there, everyone, an extra bit of gore.
Like, we'll remove that if they need to, if they're gonna...
yeah, well, like, they'll probably get us to cut this stuff, so we'll, like, put a little bit extra in.
But they were like, yeah, okay, keep it. Like, what?
Yeah.
All right, we're all in then. And this is one of my favourite scenes in the whole film as well.
This part here, this
that
music...
That camera on the outside, the music.
The music, that was one of this was part of the demo that Cornell did.
Yeah, and that circular sound and that
yeah,
whole
this circular sound. And it kind of like helped with this scene, like shooting the scene, like
with that music in mind.
Yeah, the music in mind to like really connect with it.
There's a camera on the outside there, so there's like a bunch of different operators here trying to execute this scene in this shot. There's the different people that's on the focus.
Yeah, there's like one person doing the movement on this rig that we created, and then another person that's like controlling the camera head so it doesn't like tip completely, and then someone else doing the focus, and then someone doing the lift, like the up and down of it. It was just such strange, like trying to coordinate everyone in that with Sally as well to connect. It was really kind of difficult. But then when we got it, it's like, oh my god, it looks incredible.
Yeah. And take after take, trying to execute this thing, and yeah. Yeah, it's just so amazing when all the departments sort of come together there as well. Like, yeah, that's like, again, hats off to our amazing focus pullers as well. There's this one amazing focus puller, Charlie, that was on Talk to Me as well. And like when we go really wild of a scene and the camera starts flying around the place, say like with the montage scene with them getting drunk, or when Laura's cleaning up the house, it's like this mission to try and keep things in focus.
Yeah.
But he always pulls it off.
Because there's no autofocus on these cameras, unfortunately.
Yes, no, there's not. And then tying into this was another thing like that's coming up, this goalball scene, which is like a sport that vision impaired and non-sighted people play, and it's a really painfully physical sport. It's like the most painful thing. So you put these you're blindfolded and you've got to hear the sound of the ball approaching. You have to block the ball, then try and like throw it as well into
there's like a little bell in it so you can hear it coming.
It's a painful thing. Just
this
waiting for this ball to hit you in the face or hit you in the stomach. It's like yeah,
and that's why this scene was important for the Piper's perspective, reintroducing it and like showing how she navigates.
Yeah, but also like handballing the narrative off to her. Like Andy's about to pass away and die here, and she's about to take a hold of the story, and this is sort of like a way to handball it off to Piper. And yeah, really, Like I love all the sound design of the scene. Billy's performance is so incredible too, like going through this trauma and tying the two together.
Because I didn't want you to know how ugly the world was.
Yes, he's being honest with her now. But she ain't listening, everybody.
I was 8. I hit you.
This is an amazing
I don't regret it
performance.
more.
Yeah, and this is like
Billy's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's like finding spots you can shoot that sort of stuff. Like you're in the middle of the day, like it's not raining there as well, so there's a rain rig attached to the car, and then finding again valleys and places that have enough like cover from enough shade from the trees that are blocking out the sun that you can create a sense that it's raining for real, that it's overcast. Also, Billy's not Australian. He's British.
Yeah,
so
how crazy.
that he's doing an accent as well.
Yeah, it is like, how awesome. Billy, 17 years old, coming in doing this like crazy, like such a complicated character and pulling it off convincingly with the Australian accent. So talented.
Yeah, again, just so in awe of our cast. Like
And then so this scene here, so we wanted to have the cleaning, and it was right at the end of the day. So it kind of lined up where we had, 10 minutes or something to shoot this scene here. And we're like, all right, Sally, Wendy is coming to the house. You have 10 minutes to clean. And that's exactly when we had to wrap.
and the entire fucking house was trashed.
And the whole house was trashed. Like, you got to fucking figure out how to clean it. And
10
she's
minutes.
we're just following her, literally.
Yeah, the camera's racing around and stuff, and then by the end of it, like we ran out of time. We're like, all right, cut. She's like, no.
She's like, no! And she's vacuuming. And it's
I'm
not
like,
even
cut.
plugged
No,
in.
we can't afford overtime, Sally. She's like, no, the house isn't clean yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's my ball day?
Yeah, that was a really fun thing. And then also
And this
like,
is
inversion,
Wendy's turning a blind eye.
No. There's like that thing of like this part of like Laura's character where she like to sort of calm her nerves. She's like blasting this certain music. So she's doing it when they first come to the house and everything. And this is like that like inversion of the music that she's playing at the beginning of the house as well. Like Yoko Ono, it's such a cool song.
Yeah, it's a spiral. Like she's completely lost her sanity here.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. Every time she's nervous or something she's not comfortable with, she plays this loud music. So that was like a big thing with her character. This was filmed on the weekend. This was a reduced crew. This stuff with the
crew.
Yeah, well, let's just kind of strip it back and try and get these shots.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the full crew there for this.
Because
But this was so much.
it was like one of those things where it's like we know that it's going to be overcast on that day. We know there's a lot of raining scenes in that, so I was like, let's try and get there and shoot while it's overcast. Like look at that, like you can tell, they can see all the clouds and everything up there. It's such a thing when you're shooting with rain. Rain machines are on there, but like we knew it was going to be overcast to help sell the storm.
And there was so much to shoot. And it was a bit, and so this is one of the scenes, like we shot them inside the house speaking, like seeing Wendy seeing the hole in the wall and seeing like bits of the house that's trash, and Laura handballing off this is Andy, he like lost his mind. But it felt strange once you're being with Andy to, in that moment with him going outside the house and sneaking up, cutting to their perspective, which we do here, but earlier didn't feel right. So it was like, let's stick with Andy for as long as possible. But then we like this ping pong with this like this is
You're waiting for the pin to drop.
you're waiting for the
things
pin.
to
You're
break,
waiting for the moment she gets found out. You know what's coming.
And it's like this always the best thing with editing and passes and stuff is like controlling the scene and really shaping the scene. And like the first cut of any film, like you're like so. Like you hate it so much and you're so embarrassed by it, but it's like this necessary first step to like put things together, start to shape it, and then it's pass after pass after pass after pass. It's like how many times we went through all of these scenes. And again, like we love collaborating with our editor Jeff Lamb and stuff, and he's so patient and because Mike was bringing edits into the place, I'm bringing edits into the place, he's editing as well, and it's this amazing collaboration with everyone. Even Samantha Jennings, our producer, like comes in, and it's just like I love having all those people around and just like doing passes and passes and
it was such a complicated. It was such a hard edit, which I don't know. Talk to Me was so much more, I guess, straightforward with how we'd edit it. This one was so interesting. Like it was so much more complicated for so many different reasons. So having that team and that support around it really helped.
yeah. This was every single take. Sally like pushing it, and entering this psychosis, and like you really, I don't know, there's like a desperation with her character here when she's trying to like, she knows that like this is all about to fall apart, and she's like at this complete height of this intensity. Like I love her performance in this film,
And this is there's no more hiding, and she knows she's.
And
been
there's
found.
like I push it further, and it's like every single time, every take that she would do, like it just got stronger and bigger, and I love Sally. In this scene.
Again, so many fucking good takes of this scene, and like this was, like we did a take where like see like this was she's holding the sleeve. Do not let go of the sleeve, and Wendy
Sally,
try and get it on, and she literally couldn't. Sally Ann couldn't get Sally's hand off her, and then there was a part where they're rocking back and forth, and they both fell over.
Yeah, they collapsed.
Yeah,
and then
like,
they kept performing, which I love about them.
Yeah,
as
they
well.
both kept performing, but they fell to the ground. Unfortunately, didn't work in the edit.
Yeah, but Sally Ann also was scared of Sally in this scene. The crew was scared of Sally. Like, Sally was in such a state for this scene. It was so incredible. It was scary giving her notes between shots because she was at this big heightened state.
It was amazing.
And like, again, like, hats off to performances where it's like resetting it. They have to like step back to step one again, as in like she's got the mask on, she's pretending everything's fine, and then so she like ends at such a peak, and then to reset it again, like give her a moment to like get back to ground.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that thing like, and we did these like there's this transformation that at the beginning it's everything's okay to being found out and to then completely losing it.
Yeah. And it's like, here we go as well. So this is, again, to the actors, allowing us to run them over.
Boom!
Oh, wow!
Come on, shout out Judd Wild. Me and Judd were so like, let's put a camera in that fucking second car so that window can smash into
and this moment of silence when she's just in this darkness or in this shadow, oh my God, she's so awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
And big hats off to Billy as well for this next scene, like take after take of pushing his face and drowning him inside the puddle.
Yeah, that was a merge.
And
again,
the stillness as well of like stripping out the music in this moment and just having it be about the rain, having it be about his breathing, and try to like convey of the sound, like not only is he swallowing water in this moment, but his lungs are filling up with blood.
Yeah, and it was like that music and that build gets just so big, and then so that sudden now juxtaposition to this where it's silent and it's just the rain.
Yeah,
just felt so strong.
Again, props to all of those departments and all of those teams, and Billy letting us drown him all these times.
Yeah.
And like subtle VFX here, where it's like even like his eye, like making sure his eye wasn't, because it was like pretty white to begin with, just to give it like that bloodshot feel and everything, and
keep it open when
keep it open as well as it's pushing down, like subtle small VFX things just to help elevate and bring the scenes to life. I love that. It's like just little things that help heighten things, help sell the violence and the gravity of the scene as well. Oh my gosh! And that next scene, like it's so weird. This next scene when they're coming up towards the towards the gym, like how many extras you need to fill a space like that, and having so many friends, so many family like coming at 5 a.m. in the morning to come and like help us like execute these scenes. I love working with extras and actors and help to fill out spaces and like help build that reality. And even like our extras coordinator Mel, like it's art in itself to help find people. She's like, I want to have these like there's like a ping pong tournament happening between the elderly as well. So she like sourced these elderly people to like have a ping pong tournament at the front of the gym. There they are there.
And it's so interesting with the extras, like, so they can't be bouncing balls in the background and stuff. So they've got to pretend to be. See, they can't. They can never bounce it on the ground because it'll interfere with the sound and things. So they've got to like do these actions that look like they're active, but they're not really. It's so interesting.
Yeah. Well, it's even crazier. Yeah. And like everyone having to pretend to talk or pretend to do things.
And that's Bree. That's the actual drama coach for Sora.
Yeah, which was having Sora be as comfortable as possible, like her parents there as well and stuff, and we had an access coordinator on set for certain moments and certain scenes to get her comfortable with certain environments, and then just like having her coach that helps support her through some of those grueling scenes as well. Like
so things like you got to go into a certain headspace and help them get there, and then break out of it at the end of it.
Yeah, this scene as well is one of those shots where we just left the crew and we were like driving around. So Billy was manning the water pump. I was like hanging out of the window, getting the water on the windows there. And then McCliskey's like sitting there recording it. Our focus pull was in the back of the car. It was just us 5 driving around in the streets, like capturing stuff. It was like, it's overcast, quickly, let's shoot, it's overcast. And it was like, we couldn't wait for the entire crew in that moment. It was about like breaking away and quickly like capture these shots.
Piper.
This shot, I love the reveal of the blood of the ground when she turns.
Yeah.
Piper turns around and is like,
Dun-dun-dun. Watch out.
this was Sally Ann's final day here. So we had this, this is actually her with this prosthetics on her face to have like the mashed face. And she did like a rap speech after and her face looked like this. And she's like, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. This is going to be a great movie. Even if it's shit, it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
And she has this
There's
complete
something
mashed
really special about this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's shit, we had a great time.
Yeah. And like her doing like this speech, her face like that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's always so important as well with crew members and with cast to just have everyone be as comfortable as possible with each other and like allow the space for these creative energies. So like to allow the space for actors to be able to perform and not intrude with the performances. Like people have to be comfortable with each other and like has to be a safe space.
This was the first time Oliver's in that stage of makeup. Jonah.
Yeah. Like he's really pushing it out there as well, and like that prosthetic, like that stomach that he's got, like Larry like made sure that it had some weight behind it as well, so that it didn't feel like there was this weightless thing that he's sort of carrying around. Like so much attention to detail.
Because he's consumed at such a quick rate.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny when you Jonah's like this. So once he's in the prosthetics, because it takes a while to put on, and then we get him and he's got to stay in them like in between takes, obviously. And you're having a conversation with him. And he's like talking normally, but he's dressed up like this creature from another
it's
realm.
always a weird thing when you're talking to actors and they're dressed up in that extreme way. Oh my god! I mean, this whole, it's so like the bathroom scene's so. They did such a good job. Again, like positioning that towards the end of the shoot, where she really felt that bond with Billy and really felt that bond between their characters, and then to lose him. Like Sora blew our socks off of all of these scenes.
Yeah, there's one of them to be like a holding breath moment here.
We're just so proud of Sora because like at the beginning of production, she was so nervous of like being able to cry on camera or singing on camera or dancing on camera. She had like some walls up, but she was really nervous about doing some of these scenes. And by the end of the production, like she was able to let herself go and be openly crying. And at the rap party, she's dancing and singing in front of everyone.
She's incredible. Literally the transformation from the beginning of the shoot to ending of Sora was fucking unreal.
I hope she gets, like, it'd be so cool if she did another film. Like, I know that she really enjoyed herself.
Anything she puts her mind to, she succeeds, like, at an amazing rate.
And she's so intelligent, just the way that she holds herself and the way that she communicates and talks and how knowledgeable she is. Like, she's awesome. Again, this is another shot that we went back and shot twice just because there was so much mud and blood on his face. Like he lost the shape of his face. And so it was about like that sort of lost the tenderness there as well. Like we wanted to see a bit more of Billy. So we like went back and reshot that. Little reshoot teams.
Grapefruit!
So sad.
Grapefruit! Annie!
Yeah, she's wicked here. And this is one of those things that when Sally was so in this headspace, like she looks ghastly and pale and ill, and it wasn't makeup that was helping sell those effects. Like she was just in such, like she was so caught up in that character in that moment that like.
Yeah, because the rushes were a little bit dark on this scene. When you guys did the color and it brought out her face, I was like, holy fuck, she looks terrifying.
Yeah, she's so incredible. And it's like, again, like with the browns and with the greens, like Laura's at a moment between life and death here. So it's sort of like, having that be between her, those two different colors. And for the transformation of it once she goes out into the rain and it darkens it, the color of the browns.
Say because I didn't want to frighten you.
But even like between life and death right there, like she's like, she's at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Listen,
the green and the brown, the background.
Well, I love like just the way that she's like catching her breath and holding this thing. She's like,
beautiful thing.
She's communicating. There's a miracle about to happen here, and she's lost up in this madness of this moment. And so like having the score help sell that as well. Like
the way that she's picturing it, it's like this is a beautiful thing. This is a miracle. This is an angel that's going to bring back my daughter. And making. She wants to make Piper okay with that.
Incredible.
There was like a shot that we had of her like touching Like it's actually Andy's creatine cup, what he's using for the weights that she was washing out earlier, that she's ditching at her. And there was a shot of her sort of grabbing it so we can establish it, but it gave away that this was about to happen. So we love Sally's reaction to all of this sort of stuff. It looks actually. I was so excited for this sort of scene to happen. I love Sora doing.
Yeah, we should have had
it
it go for like 20 seconds longer than fighting.
Sora's awesome, like doing her own stunts there. This was so hard to build up to. This is one of those things, like we know that these actors are going to be dry and they're going to go out into the rain, so the reset's impossible. The sun is set at a certain time, so it's like we're only going to get, we have to shoot each take on a different day to be able to execute this shot.
Yeah, you need it at the end of the day, you need them like this dry into wet, so the resets are massive.
And then like safely get
raining.
them down into the pool, so there's a whole group of people there to help pull it down to the pool. Like Oliver's prosthetics as well with the
and
rain.
then
It's
timing
is it gonna wash it away?
at the
Is
right
it gonna
time.
Yeah, is it gonna is the prosthetics gonna break away and everything? Like you have a small amount of time to be able to shoot in these sort of conditions.
Yeah.
And like she's on like this thing that's helping her pull the weight as well. Like there's like a board underneath her to help push her there.
Yeah, she's like on a little boogie board thing under her.
Yeah.
And then Oliver's out in the rain, so like that washes away the prosthetics and things.
And there's like a whole team helping them safely get into the pool.
Yeah, so like
there.
it's going over here. They're like getting helped into the pool, so they can continue getting pushed in. And then see like this, like you're in the rain, it's cold, and you can't. We want to heat the pool so they like, but you can only heat it to a certain amount, otherwise steam starts coming up. So we have like the hot spas on standby for everyone to jump in when it in between like setups and things like that. That's actually a green screen shot.
That's actually no, it's not that one. It's the later one.
Oh, the ones after.
yeah.
Like they were incredible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I have to try not to get emotional when I'm watching some of these scenes and stuff. It's like, especially like in the pool shed. Like every time I watched it, it'd catch me and I'd cry. Like it always gets me. Like
Sora and Sally were so game to like do these big takes of, and by the end of it, they were doing like full ups and downs underwater, screaming, pushing under, coming back up,
and like codes, like ways that she would squeeze Sally's hand for certain things and everything, and Sally's never like holding weight down on Piper and stuff, and allowing Piper to be able to control, all that sort of stuff and pushing herself down. Yeah,
it's so incredible. Like it looks so brutal.
Yeah, and Sora's like, I want to do my stunts, I want to do my stunts, I want to do my stunts.
Because on the first time that we shot it, we're like, okay, it goes down, then you come up. So, and there's only going to be one of them or two of them. But then by the end, like, they were doing these full, like, sequences of drowning.
Yeah. Because, it's like building up to that comfortability as well. Again, we lean into that static or that moment here when she's getting caught up in it.
Yeah.
Like,
and this was one of the things, like, this sequence, we wanted to subvert expectations of a horror ending. We wanted it to switch. So, yeah, it was like, hopefully it was a pleasant coming out of nowhere. And then she hears her daughter's voice.
Well, yeah. And it's like they're playing with the sound design at the moment, trying to capture the stillness or this, like, have like a bit of an ethereal quality.
Yeah, the stillness,
yeah.
This was the very first thing we shot. This was the very first day, was her jumping into the pool for Kathy.
Yeah, and again, it's that thing where it's like allowing the actors to like live these things in chronological order. Yeah, the very first thing that we shot.
Yeah, very first thing to shoot. Again, it's so complicated with the blood and the water and that coming out of
the head and the makeup and the resets.
What's her name?
Of that.
The actor?
Misha.
Misha.
Yeah.
She's hilarious.
Oh, I just feel it's like the power of one word. Like it's so. Their performances in this grabbing. Oh god, it fucks me up every time I watch it.
And then the removing of the sweater.
Well, do you know, this is like, well, it was shot over 3 days, the drowning sequence. It was 3 days of like, three.
Days?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it was 4 days.
Actually,
including
no.
the dragging. Yeah.
Oh, well, yes, including the dragging.
Exactly. So,
I also want to apologize for how inarticulate we are and how dumb we sound. I do apologize for that. We're not the smartest people, are we?
we are dumb. So if you made it this far, congrats everybody.
We hope that you're not dumb on because of it.
We're going to
like,
talking about it.
There was a practical throat rig that was also there to help like move like Oliver's through, like he's like opening himself up for this purging.
Look at that seamless transition to the stunt lady. Boom, going down there.
If you backtrack, Michael, what do you think was the trickiest scene to execute?
The cat coming out of the house.
The cat coming out of the house. It's true.
It was actually so hard to get the cat to come out of the house.
Yeah.
Because there's a trained cat, but you open the door and it's...
There's a giant camera crew there just sitting there facing at it. Yeah.
This is... Yeah.
This is like...
Everyone's a victim here. And that's
Yeah.
the thing.
And it's sort of like there was something really cathartic about the pool shed scene, and it was like everyone in that pool shed was crying in that moment. Michael was crying, giving Sally the direction.
Yeah, it was
Sally
so weird. I've never cried on
it
set
felt like
before.
letting someone go. Like you could. There was such a heightened emotion in that thing. Like every time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just this thing.
Well,
Look at the
real
light
quickly,
come to save
well,
Shaw.
there's here is Helene, our sister, is one of the people in the car. Just want to give a quick shout out to Helene. Our other cousin Alana came, and so she's about to come out. So the door, and then she didn't make it in the film. So she's in the credits, credited as the girl that doesn't.
And
get
this is
seen.
the cycle. This is the cycle of abuse that Oliver now can break out of. Look, he's seen that Piper has escaped it.
You
and
love
he
to
sees it
spell
lying.
out certain
All right,
themes,
well,
don't
let's
you?
underspell. Here we go. Look at this. This is. So we have those videotapes and never showing Kathy's face, and then here, her coming to the full realization that she's dead.
Well, accepting the death.
Accepting the
yeah,
death.
yeah.
And knowing she can't bring her daughter back, so she's going to go with her. And this is why, like, when we got to this scene at the end, it was something about shooting it in order and then coming here. This performance here was the saddest thing I think I've ever shot.
But also
So
the most
sad. I was like,
it feels like the most beautiful as well. Like there's just something about, like, I don't know, Sally just captured something here. Everyone were all just like sobbing in this pool shed shooting this.
Yeah,
scene.
literally, I remember I was like looking at the monitor, crying, like tears were dripping on the monitor.
I'm gonna do it again. So just
And, like, it was
this look, this like
yeah, it's so
this,
fucking good.
yeah,
She's
it's like, yeah.
Sally Hawkins is.
Sally Hawkins.
God.
And we were so we for sure thought she was gonna say no to shooting this, like to acting. Like she'd never done a horror film before, or played like a horror character like this, and so we're like, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna want to do it. And then when we got the call back saying that she was saying that she loved the script, that she'd fell in love with the character and fell in love with it, and then we like, could not believe that we got on the phone with her and talked to her about it. And yeah, our big anxiety, a big fear about this film was like letting her down, because we know how much she gave to us in the film.
Light, dark, light, dark.
Yes, we know, Michael. Spell out the themes. We know.
That's what you said at the beginning of the movie.
I did. Yep. So that was
Only
me.
when you see the good and the bad.
Okay.
This was Sora's last shot, and like look at that was the thing. It was such a difficult thing to. There's so many things going on in that scene for her as a character, and she just nailed out the park, because it's such a in subtle ways.
Yeah.
A bunch of different emotions, and she was able to just like convey it. I was just blown away in that scene.
There's small things, even just like with the transition points of like the light flashing and everything, and like cutting into these lights moving.
And then
dark.
Oliver's scream into the train going past.
Yeah, Jonah does. Yeah, Jonah's another awesome career.
And then
yeah,
and then this shot here, the very last shot,
is the last thing we shot in the movie. Yeah, this is the last thing. This is the
reunited
wrapping
with
shot
their daughter.
Yeah, and it's sort of like at this point there was no heating in the pool. Like we'd run out. Like that was the last thing. Like Sally was in there and stuff. Like we'd turned off the heat. That thing, she came in there. She wanted to be there for real and feel that. And so she's like, I think I died. She's so.
But on a lighter note, so this light here, the police officer coming into the pool. House producer Samantha Jennings, you see her coming on the left here. She walks in, and on the first take, she walks in and she's slipped over. And then you hear our first AD going, "Caw!" And like Sally's like in there, like completely in character there. Such a beautiful moment. And then imagine that shot there, and then that police officer just slipping over. It was so funny. And that is the dedicated to Harley Wallace.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the friend that we lost at the beginning of the pre-production.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be right to nod to him there.
And he was so proud of Talk to Me and was like his favorite thing to watch. And he lives out in the country and he drove out to the city like 7 times to watch the film and support the film. And he was like so proud of us. We
Yeah.
love you, Harley.
We love you, Harley. And then this is probably everyone. If you did make it somehow suffered through that, we thank you. And please
I'm so
send us a
sorry.
message on Instagram saying YC. The letters YC.
No,
if
no,
you
no.
would.
YM.
YM. Okay, YM.
If you made it this far, please. We did this with Talk to Me as well. It was so cool seeing how many people watched it and like seen that. That meant so much to us. So if you watch this commentary all the way through, yes, shoot us a DM on Instagram. YM. Awesome. Thank you everyone so much.
Thank you so
We
much for
appreciate
listening.
the support. Thank you. We apologize for the terrible commentary track.
Shut up.
Do you want to get knocked out? Yep.
Goodbye, everybody.
Farewell.